Welcome back to the amazing units for the OL. In this unit, it's unit 9 and it's called The Amazing World Around Us. Here is the question, but I want you to answer this question at the end of the video. Only if you can. So where do you think is the tallest tower in the world? Now before we start talking about the new vocabulary and the new structure, we need just to make a quick revision. Read and correct. Number 1, next week we played basketball with our friends. So the answer will be last week we played basketball with our friends. Number 2, what did you bought from the department store? And yes, the answer is what did you buy from the department store? Number 3, because she is clever, she fails. I have two opposite sentences here. So the answer must be yes, although she is clever, she fails. Now, just to remember, we're going to say how to say the numbers. The first one here, as you can see in this video, how can I say this? I say 435,000. Again, 435,000. The next one, I say 37 million. I hope to have this sum one day. And the next one, 37,435,199 and 91. It's kind of a big number. So again, 37,435,191. This tip is just for the lazy people like me. When you do not want to give an exact number, we can also say more than, just under, or about. So in this number, if I am not lazy, I can say 192. But if I am the lazy person, I say more than 190. Here, if I'm not lazy, I can say 179. But I can say also when I'm lazy, just under 180. This one, I can say 2003. But I'm so lazy, so I am going to say it's about 2000. So let's go to the new words here. The first word, and I need you just to repeat after me, bridge. You can stop the video and repeat. Bridge. And it means something used for people and cars to cross a road or river. So I can tell you, if you have a car, if you are just driving your car and you want to cross this river, you can use the bridge. Number 2, city. And it is a large town. I can tell you, Zagazig city is a large place. Now let's move to the next one. It's called crowded. Again, crowded, and I also can say busy. And it means where there are many people or many cars. I can tell you, the place is so crowded. It has many people in it. So the next word, it's empty. It's not empty. No, it's empty without P. Empty. And it means without any people or things in it. So I can say this room is so empty. There is no one here. Let's move to the next one, and it's called low. And it means not far from the top to the bottom of something. The next one, it's modern. Yes, modern, and it means relating to the present. And not modern means an ancient thing. I can tell you I like modern beds. The next one, it's narrow, and it means not far from one side of something to the other, and not wide means narrow. So narrow means it's like when I have a room, it's a narrow one, it's not big, you know. So I can say I don't have a big room, it's a narrow room. The next one, it's noisy, and it means making a lot of noise and not quiet. Like what you can hear in this video, it's some noisy songs. So I can say I couldn't do anything of my homework because I had the noisy people around me. Now let's move to the next word, and it is pyramid. As we know, the pyramids of Giza, it's a large building that is square at the bottom with 4 triangular sides forming a point at the top. Yes, they are like the pyramids of Egypt. The next word, it's quiet. Yes, quiet. It's like now, without making much noise and absolutely not noisy. So I can say I like being in the quiet places. The next word, it's tower. Yes, tower. It means a tall and narrow buildings. I can also say I like going to Cairo Tower. The next word, it's wide. Wide, and it is the opposite word of narrow. Wide means very big. So it means far from one side of something to the other and not narrow. So I can tell you we have a wide or very wide room in this building. The next word and the last word here, it means, or I'm sorry, it is further. Yes, further. And this is the comparative form of far. Absolutely, we are going to discuss this soon. So further means at a bigger distance. We use it as the comparative of far. So now let's move to the new structure here in this unit. What are the comparative of the adjectives? Before we talk about anything here, we should know what is the adjective. The adjective, it's a word that describes people or things. Like when I tell you, Muhammad is a good boy. So the adjective here, it's good. Why? Because it describes Muhammad. And I can tell you, this dog is so frightening. So the adjective here, it's frightening. Why? Because it describes the dog. Here I have what is the comparative of the adjectives. We use comparative adjectives to compare between two things, two people or two places. I have two kinds of adjectives. If you can see, I have two kinds of adjectives. Like I have the short adjective and the long adjective. The short adjective, it's the adjective which I can pronounce only at one time. Like short, short. I cannot say short. I can say small. It's just one time. Small. It's not small. So what is the long adjective? The long adjective, it is the adjective which I can pronounce for more than one time. Like expensive. Yes, expensive. Or modern, modern. Or crowded, crowded. So here, how to get the comparative adjectives of the short adjective? It's so easy and clear. I just add er to the adjective and then I follow it with than. Yes, than. I can tell you Ali is older than Muhammad. So Muhammad is younger than Ali. Or how to get the short or I'm sorry, how to get the comparative adjectives for the long adjectives. As you can see here, I added two words, more or less. I add these two words to the adjective and then I can follow them with than. I can tell you my car is more modern than your car. So here, as you can see, the adjective and the comparative. The adjective is high, so the comparative is higher. The adjective here is big, so the comparative is bigger. The adjective here is noisy, so the comparative is noisier. Now to the last short adjective, tall, and it must be, yes, taller. Now to the long adjective, modern, more or less modern, crowded, more or less crowded. Now let's go to the irregular adjectives, like good. Good is an irregular adjective and it turns into better. Now bad, it turns into worse, and far turns into two words, farther or further, as you saw in the new words. Now to sum everything up, we use adjectives to describe the noun and comes before the noun. Or it may be after the verbs be, like, or taste, or be, look, or taste. I saw a beautiful girl. Ahmed is tall. She looks cheerful. It is an exciting film. The food tastes delicious. So the comparative degree, we use comparative form by adding er to the adjective, like taller, bigger, happier, or heavier. And I also follow it with than. Like here in this example, Sammy is fatter than his sister. Again, Sammy is fatter than his sister. That means Sammy is bigger than his sister. The next one, Mount Everest is higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. Again, Mount Everest is higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. If the adjective consists of two or more syllables, we add more or less before the adjectives. So more or less, beautiful, careful, or expensive than. So here, math is more difficult than English. This is not a fact, okay? Here I can see Mike is less handsome than Adam. Before we go to the next one, to the next lesson, we should just answer some exercises. Choose the correct answer. Mount Everest is than Mount Kilimanjaro. So I have than, and it must be, yes, Mount Everest is higher than Mount Kilimanjaro. This book is than yours. I have here difficult, it's a long adjective, and it must be, this book is more difficult than yours. Here, which bridge is the 6th October Bridge or Qasr Nil Bridge? I must here, but I'm sorry, I must put the question mark, but it's okay. So which bridge is, yes, I have two things to compare between. So which bridge is longer, the 6th October Bridge or Qasr Nil Bridge? Number 4, Susan is than her cousin Mona. So Susan is more beautiful than her cousin Mona. Number 5, today, it must be like this. Today, and here. So today the weather is yesterday. I'm comparing between the weather of today and the weather of yesterday, so I'm comparing between two things, and I must say, today the weather is colder than yesterday. Now read and correct. The Nile River is longest than the Amazon. So I must say, the Nile River is longer than the Amazon. Number two, the pyramids of Giza are easy for tourists to visit than the Red Pyramid. I have than, so I must have the comparative form of the adjectives. So I can say, the pyramids of Giza are easier for tourists to visit than the Red Pyramid. Number three, Adil is tall, but Rami is tallest. Here I'm comparing between Adil and Rami, so I am saying Adil is tall, but Rami is taller. Number four, this car is very nice, but that one is nicest. So, yes, this car is very nice, but that one is nicer. Number five, Amr is happiest than his brother. So I should say, Amr is happier than his brother. Now let's move on to lesson number 3. Before we go on the new vocabulary, we'll answer just some exercises. The of Bangkok is in Thailand is about 10 million people. So when I'm going to talk about the people who live in a place, I should say the population of Bangkok in Thailand is about 10 million people. Number 2, the market is always very at this time. We can say crowded, but as I told you before, I can also use another thing, which is, yes, busy. This market is always very busy at this time. That means this market is always very crowded at this time. It has many people. Number 3, we need to buy some water. This bottle is, I don't have water in this bottle, so I should say we need to buy some more water. This bottle is empty. Number 4, which bridge is the 6 October Bridge or Qasr Nil Bridge? So, we said it before, which bridge is longer? Number 5, meter, kilometer, and centimeter are length. Yes, as you took in the math lessons, it is measurements. Again, meter, kilometer, and centimeter are length measurements. Now let's move to the new words. The first word is achievement, and it means a result to be proud of. And to give you a sentence, I can say, I'm so proud of my achievement, of what I have achieved. The next word is dangerous, and it means able to cause harm and not safe. So I can say, the jungles are so dangerous. The opposite word of this, it's safe, and it means not in a dangerous situation. Not in a dangerous situation, I'm sorry, here it must be OUS. Not in a dangerous situation or position. So when I tell you, don't worry, you're safe, that means you are not in danger. The next word, it is sunset, and it means the time when sun disappears from the sky at the end of the day. So I can tell you, I really like watching the sunset from the mountain. So the next word, it's suspension bridge. Yes, suspension bridge, and it means a long bridge that has a long metal wires to hold it up. I think we have this bridge in Egypt in Road al Farag. I think it is a suspension bridge. So I can say we have a suspension bridge in Egypt. Ugly, it means not nice to look at or not beautiful. So when I tell you this picture is so ugly, I don't like it. It's not beautiful. As you remember, in lessons 1 and 2, we have talked about the comparative adjectives. Now we are going to talk about the superlative of adjectives. We use superlative adjectives to compare more than two things. Like when I compare between you and the whole students in the class, I can say Muhammad is the tallest person in this class. So as all the time I have two kinds of adjectives. The first kind it's the short adjectives, and the second kind is the long adjectives. For the short adjectives, as you can see here, I put the before the adjective and est at the end of the adjective. So I can say Cairo Tower is the highest tower in Egypt. So here I can say fast, it will be the fastest. We will just add est to fast. And busy, it should be the busiest. We will delete this y and add iest. So with the long adjectives I have popular, I must use the most or the least and the adjective. So I can say the most or the least popular. Expensive, it will be, yes, the most or the least expensive. Here we have irregular adjectives. Far, it will be the furthest. Good, it will be, yes, the best. And can you remember the comparative form of good? Yes, it's better. So bad is the worst. Now let's answer some exercises here. Choose the correct answer from A, B, C, or D. So the post office is to my house than the park. And I must say nearer. The post office is nearer to my house than the park. Number 2, the museum is usually on Saturday than on Sunday. So the museum is usually more crowded on Saturday than on Sunday. Your house is far, but mine is further. Yes, further. The opposite of wide is, yes, is narrow. What are the pyramids? So, yes, what age are the pyramids, or how old are the pyramids? Number 6, I got when I saw Muhammad Salah. So I got amazed when I saw Muhammad Salah. It's an adjective, amazed. And thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions, please don't forget to tell us or to ask us these questions.